Y'all give us just a minute. We'll be starting here in just a few minutes. I'm just giving Brother Steve a chance to get on. He's never done this before, so it'll take him probably till 7, maybe 7:05 to get on here. We're very excited for this video. We've been trying to set up this month's live video for a little while now. And I had several different guests in mind, and we did finally settle into Brother Steve Beachy, who I'll be introducing here in just a few minutes when he gets on. And he's worked in the printing and distribution of gospel literature for literally decades, probably 4 decades plus. And his dad also worked in it before him, and both of them worked closely with the ministry of my grandfather. So wanted to bring him on and just give him a chance to just tell some of his experiences and talk about kind of what the Lord has done with him and the different languages and things they've worked on. So I think it's really going to be a treat. I think you're going to enjoy it. We're just giving him a few minutes to hop on here. He's never done a Facebook Live before, so it might take him just a few minutes to get on. So if y'all will be patient, I'm sure we'll be rolling here real shortly. Trying to add him in now. Brother Steve, I can see you guys are there. I just pushed the bring on the camera button, so there should be some sort of a notification on your side to accept that to where you could join the video. If y'all are having trouble, please call me on my personal phone. Y'all give us just a few minutes. We're just getting it worked out where they can get on camera. It shouldn't take much longer. Hey. Okay, at the bottom of the screen, you'll see one of the buttons is like a person with a picture in the front of it. Y'all seeing the options down there, Brother Steve? Yeah, there's some options at the bottom of the live video screen, and one of them is looks like the outline of a person with a picture in front of them, and that's where you send a request to join the video. Y'all give us just a minute. We're working on it. I just hit add. I just hit add. See if you guys get a notification where you can accept that invitation. Yeah. It could be that you have some kind of a setting where you have to change it over because it's restricted. I don't know. What happens when you go to your settings? Does it go to a certain place? Yeah, you should turn on the microphone and the camera. Yeah. Yeah, anything that it's asking you to turn on. We are working on it, folks. Give us just a minute. Thank everyone for their patience. Okay, I think I see a request. Hold on. Let me see if this adds you in. Give me just a second. Yeah, hit whatever popped up.
So,
Brother Steve.
hey, we finally got it.
Hey, can you hear
Yeah,
me?
can you hear me?
Great, great. I can hear you. You're a little bit quiet. I don't know what the audience is hearing. So if you guys can hear us both, or if somebody's quiet, please let us know in the comments. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, I just wanted to introduce everybody. This is Brother Steve Beachy. He's a close friend and mentor to me. He has worked, as I understand it, 4 decades in printing. Is that right?
Uh, well, I've been messing with printing since I was a kid.
I know it's been a minute. You're a little bit quiet, Brother Steve. You might want to bring the camera a little bit closer to you or turn the volume up. He's worked between 4 and 5 decades in printing gospel literature. His dad also worked in printing before him. And both of them personally helped my grandfather in the ministry in the printing and distribution of gospel literature, as well as many other things. So I just wanted to give him a chance to share some of his experiences and some of the things that he's worked on. I know I've had a lot of requests to interview and talk to the brethren that worked with Papal personally and that were involved in that ministry. And so Brother Steve is definitely chief among them. And I think it's great that he came on with us. Brother Steve, how did you get started in printing? What are some of the first things that you did in the area of printing?
First thing that first comes to mind that I did was I helped my dad as a kid set up letter presses for when we were still in Ohio before we met for the night. So I've been messing with printing since I was.
You're a little bit quiet. Do you know if the volume is down on your side?
Well, I done turned it up several times. I'm afraid to go to settings.
See if your actual phone volume is down.
Okay, now can you hear me better?
Not too much. I would bring it a tad closer to your face if you don't mind. I don't know why it's a little bit quiet.
Okay, how about now?
Yeah, just speak up a little bit. Carry on, please.
But I've been messing with printing since I was probably 7 or 8 years old. So, and that, let me just give you a little short rundown on how Dad met your papa. Uh,
Yeah, sure.
back, we met Brother Pike in '68, and we had been helping another minister in Minnesota a couple of years, and he had a place in Florida. We went to Florida with him 1 year, and that's where we met Brother Franklin Walden. Dad felt like he was supposed to go work with him. And then Brother Franklin is like a third cousin to Brother George. So he was with
Yeah.
him for a year. We met Brother Pike. And with Brother Franklin Walden, we was doing some printing for him as well. So printing has kind of been my thing. But that's kind of how we got started. And of course, Brother Pike, he always loved the printing, loved the printed press, printed page. He was in Mexico one time, and he didn't have any way to relate to the people because he didn't speak the language. So he said, if I just had a track or something put in their hands, I'd have a way of communicating with them. And
Right.
that's when he seen the need for the printed page. And went from there. Went to about 55 different languages. Had him print at one time or another. But that's how he got him involved in printing.
We're having a little bit of static, Bro Steve. I don't know if it's on my end or your end, but there's a little bit of a staticky sound. I do hear you better now than I did in the beginning. It's a little bit staticky. I'm not really sure what it is. On these live streams, you always have something. We've never had one that just went right, so it's always something. I did want to show the people some of the work, some of the things that Brother Steve has worked on in the past. I have some stuff here. These are some of the that he's been involved in printing. I do these in several languages. Set of headphones, Steve. That could help out just a little bit. Yeah, see if you can grab you a set of earbuds or something might help out a little bit. Bug you, we have problems every time we do. So thankful everybody in the audience is being patient with us. We deal with stuff with technology. But I wanted to show some of the stuff that Brother Steve has worked on in the past. Some of these tracks, these are 2, 3, 4 fold tracks. This is an example of just a single fold track that's just printed on the back and front. Nice full color artwork on the front. Really nice stuff. Let me see if I got a couple different ones here. This is one that has 2 folds in it. This is a glossy stock paper. He's worked on so many things over the years. I also have here a couple of sermon booklets, which are stapled, which have nice glossy full color covers. Very nice artwork. Very nice introduction pages. Very professional. And we also have, this is an older one, but we have these spiral songbooks that Brother Steve has worked on that we give out to churches and make sure that they have nice hymnals and songbooks and things like that for the sermons. He's been involved in the distribution ministry and has, in my mind, been very instrumental in the furtherance of the ministry that my grandfather was involved in. I don't know how the audio is doing. I'm trying to watch the comments here. I know that we're having a little bit of trouble with the audio. Brother Steve, tell us about some of the more interesting translations that you've worked on.
Well, right now the most prominent ones are like we do some Filipino languages, and then we do some African languages. That's where we send the most out to right now. Spanish is a very popular one. We do a lot of Spanish. English. We've got Arabic, um, Japanese, Chinese. Um, just about any major language you can think of. If it's not in access to it, you can't run it.
Yeah, I know that we sent out a package the other day that you had given me literature for to Texas. I sent one out as well to Brother Akalira's wife in, I think, Kenya is where they're from.
Right.
And I have a package right now that is ready to go to Brother John Karki in Nepal, which is in Hindi, and I got a little bit of English in there as well. I was talking to a fella in Pakistan, a gentleman that I'm corresponding with right now benevolence project, and they were speaking a language called Urdu, which I've never heard before. And it seems like there's a bunch of these kind of obscure little languages in Pakistan and India, little dialects and things, into a situation where you don't have the translation that someone needs.
Well, every now and then we do. Of course, if they can supply us with, if they can translate a track for us, then what we usually do is we'll print a few thousand of them, send them out. Usually there's some corrections that need to be made to get them back, and then start printing once we get it satisfied that it's up to par. Then we'll print quantities of it, and uh, we can print most any language that we don't have. We do have Urdu. We do have that one.
We do have Urdu?
Yeah,
I actually need that right now.
may not have it in print, but we've got access to it.
I had a request for that just, I think, yesterday.
That's great.
Tell us about some of the experiences that you had with Papa. I know that you've had some pretty interesting experiences with him over the years working with him. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the one time that Brother George and the brethren went to, I don't know if you recall the event that was called Walking for Jesus. We printed up, we sent over, passed out over 100,000 tracts at that time. About 9 or 10 brethren loaded up in a couple vans. We printed up like 1 million tracts at one time. It would take a 40-inch diameter roll of paper, and each roll would print out like 100,000 tracts. A few days we had 1 million tracts, and they took passed out 10,000 tracts one day in Washington.
Wow.
That was cool.
Were you you weren't able to find any headphones, were you? I'm still getting a little bit of that.
A little bit on one, but it's from our phone. It's not for this phone. So.
Is it like a auxiliary or is it Bluetooth?
It's Bluetooth.
Oh yeah, okay, I got you. Well, that's no problem. Sometimes when I have this feedback problem, the headphones help for some reason. I was gonna ask you, how many pieces of literature do you reckon you've sent out over the course of your life? Have you ever tried to tally it up?
Um, over the years, I'm sure it's quite a few million.
Yeah.
It's a little hard to say. I mean, we're not like some of the big track companies that's do millions a year. Some of them do that. Ours definitely, I would, and we've probably done 5, 7 million, some 10 million maybe. I don't know. It's a little hard to say.
How many different languages have you worked on over the years, do you reckon?
Probably 45 to 55 languages.
So your dad met Papa through Franklin Walden, I guess, and he came from, of course, an Amish background. Do you have any childhood memories of being up in Ohio and
Oh
stuff?
yeah, I was about 12, 13 years old when we left Ohio. So yeah, I remember well. Like I said, Dad was working with a minister that had a campground in Minnesota. His name was Gerald Durstein. Well known in Florida. He has a campground church and everything in Sarasota, Florida. And we went up there 2 summers. Dad helped him build a church and some dormitories, and other buildings there. Then one winter we went to Florida with him, where he went to Sarasota, and probably Franklin Walden's antenna in Bradenton. And Dad wound up going to his tent with him, and he felt the connection, felt like the Lord wanted him to go with him, so we wound up with Congress. And we was there with him exactly a year when Brother Pike came by, his brother where they were grading. Some of them came by the church there to visit and stuff. And Dad was kind of assistant pastor at the campground. Brother Franklin was out of town much of the time. And so Dad kind of looked after the campground church there while he was out. And we had a small printing facility there. And that's how we met Brother Pike. And then wound up moving to Mississippi from there.
Let me ask you a question, bro. Steve. Are y'all using the Facebook app? Because I think I had the same problem. I think I had the same problem the other day with Brother Joshua Shephart. I think he was going through the internet browser instead of the app. Ask Sister Deanna if you're on the app or
You're on
not.
the app or
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why we're having this audio problem. It shouldn't be like that. I don't know. I was gonna say to the audience, Brother Steve and I the other day had discussed working together to try to gather just a full color digital printing press, ramping up literature production and cutting down on waste. It would be a great investment for anything gospel related. You know, Brother John Jameson does monthly or quarterly newsletters, and different people write tracts, and of course we print a lot of Pike's literature in many languages. And so we're thinking about working together to purchase a nice digital press to ramp up the literature production. So the idea is that we're going to try to do maybe a church job or some projects to start getting a percentage of the funds available. And then once we have a good start, anybody who wants to donate and contribute. So hopefully we'll make an announcement at some point in the next couple of months on the page for anybody who wants to assist in purchasing that to help with the spreading of gospel literature. I've pledged toward it and said that they would love to help. So I just want to kind of get the ball rolling first before we start asking for anything. But it's going to be a great project. It's going to give us the opportunity to print now. It's going to cut down waste, as far as I can tell, by 75%. Probably give us a higher quality piece of literature. And some of these machines have attachments to do a lot of the assembly and things for you. So just all in all, it'll kind of move us into the 21st century on what we're doing. And it'll assist us in helping other ministries if they have printing needs. So we'll be making an announcement, like I said, sometime in the next couple of months for anybody who wants to share financially on that and help out with that. And I'd like to, no later than this time next year, be able to purchase that for Grace Temple Church and for the printing department that Brother Steve operates. It'd help us all. It'd benefit literature going to the prisons and going to all these disaster areas. There's been hurricane after hurricane, and it'd be good if we could set up a situation where people could go to these affected areas and take food and clothes and take gospel literature to encourage the people who are devastated in places like Florida and the Bahamas and Louisiana. And so I think that purchasing a nice digital press is a step in the right direction for ramping up the distribution in general. So we will be letting people know about that sometime in the months to come. On that, it's going to be a great project. Brother Steve, do you have anything new coming up that you're working on?
Well, right now we're just trying to. I've got to rebuild my stock. During COVID, we weren't able to ship out. They stopped all the shipping overseas and stuff. So that's just starting to open back up. So now we've got orders for the Philippines and Africa right now, right immediately. So we've got some on hand, but I've got to restock on that. And then, of course, we're doing some more. Me and Chuck's been working on some making negatives and stuff, portion books and stuff too. So we'll be adding that to it too.
Brother Joshua Shephart, I've sent him, I think I told you the other day when I met you at the office that I sent Brother Josh a big package the other day of the It Is Written tract booklets in English and Spanish. And he goes out even throughout the day when he's at work and different things, and he passes them out. And he says, especially in the Texas area, the Austin area that he lives in, that the Hispanic folks are very receptive to that. So I'll probably be needing to send him probably another package of the It Is Written Volume 1 and 2, at least in Spanish, sometime in the next month or so. And I'm trying to establish some places for us to have more output. Like I'm talking to a gentleman right now who's from Nepal. I'm talking to one guy in Pakistan, and I'm trying for us to get out gospel literature. And that's one reason I've ramped up my activity on social media, because these guys who are in these foreign fields in these different places are on social media. That's where you find them. It's kind of like the mailing room of the future, you know? So that's kind of what we're trying to do, is establish some contacts, and hopefully by the time that we're able to purchase that digital press, we'll really have a need for it.
Right. Well, the digital press too will help. Right now, the offset printing, you don't want to print the press up just for 500 copies or something. You know? Whereas a digital
Right.
press, short runs, is not a problem. You know, you can kind of print what you need as you need it instead of having to stockpile a bunch of stuff because you don't want to print
Right.
short runs. You know, so it'll be a great advantage that way. And like you say, it'll cut down on expense and waste and stuff like that. You know, minimize all that and make our dollars go a little further.
What I need to do is start stocking up in general, because I've sent out probably 5 or 6 packages just in the last month. I sent out that big package, I think I told you, over to Kenya, that we've been waiting on forever because of the COVID thing. They finally opened that back up. And I might have misunderstood them, but I thought that I got word that Sister Aguilera had passed away, maybe. So I don't know if maybe I misunderstood them, but somebody on her Facebook account has been corresponding with me. But I think still, even whatever church that is, I think it's called Grace Church, they still have a need for literature. They're still asking for it. And I know that maybe in the next month or two, they'll need more. So I think it'd be good if we were able to start getting more stuff in Hindi and in whatever language that was that we sent to Kenya. I know we're getting more, asking more in that. And then Josh says that he needs more in Spanish. So, like right now, if I had more tracts and sermon books, and put them right now.
Yeah, well, It Is Written booklets seem to do very well. We did that. That's just a compilation of the different tracks that we have put
Yeah.
in book form.
Yeah.
The prison ministry, they like the booklets a little better than the individual tracks. So when we did that, it seemed to go very well with but others really they seem to like the track booklets a lot better, you know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to show people, these song books. Very recently, several months back, Brother Steve and the Grace Temple Printing Department finished a whole new run of these Echoes from Heaven songbooks. These are really nice. They have, scores of old hymns, as well as a bunch of songs that my grandfather wrote. And we're making those to churches that want them. We've given several packages of those. And if your local church needs songbooks or hymnals, we're happy to supply those to you. We're also trying to like I said to Brother Steve a minute ago, we're trying to find more outlets to get out gospel literature. Has a need of free gospel literature. It's all free. We pay the shipping and everything. Yeah, there's an example of one of the new ones right there. We've got that need hymnals and things. What'd you say? Yeah, it shows it backwards.
But anyway.
It's the Echoes from Heaven songbook. We've got those, and we don't have them in more than one language right now, but maybe eventually that's something, if we get a demand, we could offer those in more than one language. We haven't had that issue yet, or rather that opportunity. Um, I need to start getting, like I said, a lot more Hindi in stock. And the last time that I was there, we only had one track in Hindi. Where are we at on maybe getting some more stuff in the language of India?
Uh, I was looking at that the other day. I've got negatives to print. We can print some more of those. You know, we just got to get some materials and print them. You know, it's no big deal. We've only got
Yeah.
we've only got like 2 translations in the Hindi right now, so 2 tracks.
Right.
So kind of limited on the variety, but we do have maybe that in you know 2 different tracks.
Yeah, I got. I think the one that I have is Revelational Truths, which is a great track, of course.
The other one is
There's one more thing I was going to mention. Go
the other
ahead.
one I think is Life Storm. I'm not sure
Oh, okay, Life Storm. Yeah, I wanted to mention to the people. there's always a need. I know a lot of folks have asked me about being able to contribute somehow to the ministry. As anybody who watches any of the Highways of Home videos knows, we don't take any offerings. We don't ask for any funds. There are occasions that we have projects, whether it's like this digital printing press or some benevolence project. We do make it available to people who want to give. And actually, just in the last month, offerings on the mailing. I had one person alone give $180. I had somebody this morning send me $50. I'm sure he wouldn't want me to mention his name, but that's a good reason to mention his name. It was Brother Pete Griffin in North Carolina. He sent $50 to help out on the mailing, and I think he deserves a little bit of credit for it. He just wanted to help out, you know, and I've had a lot of folks come forward. And I wanted to mention to all the viewers that there's always a need for paper, there's a need for ink, there's always a need for mailing costs, especially mailing costs. You know, if you've got money burning a hole in your pocket, and Lord, the printing room is for you. You are just exactly the kind of person that they're looking for.
Mailing is for your expenses.
There's always an opportunity.
Mailing and shipping is for your expenses. Printing it, getting it ready to shipping is very cheap compared to shipping itself. That's that's what costs the most. Yeah, that's what
One package I sent the other day was like $70. One to Texas, I think it was $15. I mean, like I said, I've had some donations come in, so it's not a problem. We have had some people that have opened up their hearts and helped us out, and I'm sure that'll continue. Another thing I wanted to mention to the viewers is I've been corresponding with a gentleman in Pakistan, and we sent him a small offering the other day because he said that he has an operation with some Christian widows who have a sewing center, and they're trying to create an income for the ladies who are Christian widows. So I'm in the process of kind of getting to know this guy and trying to establish him as a reliable contact. So I'm going to make a follow-up post. We did send him a small offering, and if we determine that he's reliable, that he's trustworthy, we will have some opportunity for benevolence in Pakistan to kind of help some of the Christian widows get the sewing center running where they can get themselves a little income, because the church over there really can't afford to support them. So we're looking and trying to find more areas like that where people who want to give and share can have somewhere that they know the money's going to a good cause. You know, and one thing I like about working with Brother Steve is the head of the printing department at Grace Temple Church. And these days, there's so many offerings and so many agencies that take collections. You know, every time that you go to Walmart, they ask if you want to get, and you never know where the money's going. And it's good to have organizations that are trustworthy, that are reliable, that you can count on, that you know is using the money for what it's for. And Grace Temple Church and the Grace Temple Printing Department is somewhere that you can always have confidence. It's using every penny of that money to spread the gospel and to help the needy. And so that's one of the reasons that we promote them and work with them, is because they're just a great, wonderful operation of Christian people who are really trying to do the right thing. Brother Steve, I hate that we're having these audio problems. I hope the audience has been able to hear. I've heard some mixed comments. Some people said they could hear. Some said they were having trouble. That's honestly media stuff. I think I'm gonna start just telling people just to have headphones at the beginning. I probably should have mentioned that to you beforehand, but sometimes it's an issue and sometimes it's not. But I really appreciate you taking the time to come on. Is there anything else that you wanted to mention while we're on here?
You pretty much covered everything, I think. Just keep us in the Lord will help us do what we're supposed to do, you know. That's our goal, you know, to please Him in every way, everything we do. And of course, do more for God, you know. That's the goal. You know?
Exactly right. Well, folks, we're gonna cut it a little bit short this evening just because of the audio problems that we're having, and I hate that. And I'm hoping maybe at some point that we can ramp these up and start doing 2 of these live with brethren videos per month. I know people usually enjoy watching these. An update on our recent ministry teaching video that we released. I posted our most ministry video on Saturday morning, I believe it was, and Facebook immediately, within less than a minute, flagged it 3 times for copyright infringement. So this is either the 4th or 5th video that we've had that they falsely flagged for copyright infringement. Every other video within 2 hours of a challenge they've released because they realized that we weren't guilty. For some reason, they have not released this video yet. We posted a link on the page for the same video on YouTube to anybody who wants to see it, but they're still holding our video under a false claim of copyright infringement for 2 or 3 days in a row now. So I don't know what the deal is, but we're in the process of getting that figured out. Many of you also know that we're working with Brother Joshua Shepards to start doing a monthly podcast. We had actually ordered some hardware to try to launch the first episode before Thanksgiving. We had some mailing issues and the hardware didn't come in the mail. So we're still hoping to be able to launch the podcast before the first of the year and have a 1 to 2 hour segment once or twice a month where you can just listen to like a gospel commentary while you're at work. A podcast is sort of like an online radio station. So it gives people something positive to listen to throughout the day if they're driving or if they're working. And we're just kind of trying to get into every avenue that we can to give people Christian media and Christian means of entertainment and something that they can bring into their world that's positive and holy and godly and decent because the world's filthy and philosophy is getting worse every day. And that's one reason I wanted to bring on Brother Steve, because Brother Steve is such a light. He's sending out sermon books and tracts by the thousands and millions and winning souls and doing something positive. And he to me is such a hero and such a champion. And I just wanted to give him a platform to be able to talk about what he's been involved in, because there's no telling how many hundreds and thousands of people have come to Christ because of the efforts of Brother Steve and this gospel literature. So we love him, we appreciate him. Brother Steve, thank you so much for taking the time to come on.
Thank you, Christian. It's an honor.
All right. Thank y'all for watching. Sorry for the audio problems, and may the Lord bless you.